size, how are you measuring that size? Are you just saying, hey, it's small, medium, or big? Maybe. Are you actually measuring that size with, say, a ruler? If you said small, medium, big, I could argue that that's qualitative. But if you said, hey, this desk is 28 inches wide, that's not qualitative anymore. That would now be quantitative because you measured it. So qualitative is data about a quality. So it would be data about a quality or information about a quality, not necessarily a number. Okay, but information about a quality. So qualitative information about a quality, you can think about it as like categorical or descriptive. So information about a quality, it can be categorical or descriptive in nature. Cannot be measured, typically. Cannot be measured. So if we can't measure it, like we can't measure color, we can't measure shape, right? You're not going to say, oh, well, we measured the shape and it's a star. We measured the shape and it's a circle. Typically, we don't measure those things. So that would be qualitative in nature. All right, cool. We're going to see lots of examples of qualitative today. What would quantitative be? Information about quantities. I know that's not the best definition, but it works. Information about quantities usually can be measured. Usually, our data can be measured. So like how much a pig weighs would be quantitative. How tall you are. How old are you? Are you right-handed or left-handed? Would that be qualitative or quantitative? That would be qualitative. I can't measure if I'm right-handed or left-handed necessarily. How fast the pitcher throws a pitch. That would be quantitative. We can actually measure that. Okay. So information about quantities that typically can be measured would be quantitative. All right, so just some examples. Number 12, the colors, and this is all notes kind of like linked together. So if you go back to a previous page, you'll see 1 through 10 maybe. But anyways, number 12, the colors of automobiles on a used car lot. Qualitative or quantitative? That would be qualitative. That would be qualitative. You can't measure colors. Number 13, the number of seats in a movie theater. Yeah, we can measure that. We can go in the movie theater. We can actually count those things. The numbers on shirts of a girls' soccer team. Quantitative. You think is not actually right. You think quantitative because it's a number, right? But what is that number really doing? That number is really just describing the player, almost like a name would describe the player. So just because it's a number doesn't make it quantitative. So we got to be real careful there. This number is just an identifying mark. Like, hey, number 10 is this person. That number 10 is describing that person. It's not measuring how tall that person is or how fast that person runs or how many goals that person scored. So this number 14 would actually be qualitative. Just because it's a number doesn't make it quantitative. Number 15, ages of students at North High School. Ages of students at North High School, I would say that's quantitative. How long have you lived? That's something we can actually measure. Okay, we can measure like how long you've lived. The temperatures of 30 refrigerators. So we're gonna go. We got 30 refrigerators at our restaurant, we're going to go measure the temperature of those 30 restaurants. That would be quantitative. The amount of fat grams of 24 different cookies. Quantitative. That's something we can measure. The years the Olympics were held in the United States. The years the Olympics were held in the United States. I would say quantitative for that one. Number 19, marriage status. Are you married, single, or divorced? That's qualitative. That is a characteristic of that person. And social security numbers of the employees of a school. This is very similar to number 14. That would be qualitative because those social security numbers, while they are numbers, they are just identifying the person. They are just identifying the person. And as practice for that, I'm done for you guys today. I don't have anything else for you that we're going to go over together. But in your own words, you can define the words qualitative and quantitative here. And just some extra practice that you can do on your own. You can, there's several different types of data at the bottom, and you can describe those as qualitative or quantitative. If you read the directions, it will ask you to color. So if you want, you can put a color in the box. You don't have to. You can just use the abbreviations that we just used.